Now before I crack on with this list, there are a few honourable mentions. The Undertaker's last ever match was a cinematic masterclass against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt got mashed up by Goldberg. King Corbin threw Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black off the roof of Titan Towers. Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara shot fireworks at each other. Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman fought in a swamp. Roman Reigns turned heel, I know it finally happened. Io Shirai jumped off the cage in a bin, and Bray Wyatt was set on fire by Randy Orton. So if 2020 was a video, these first couple of minutes would probably narrate it perfectly. My name's Nathan from What Culture Wrestling, and these are the 10 wrestling matches you won't believe happened in 2020. Number 10, Fist Fight, WWE Monday Night Raw, January the 13th. Hold tight, there's fans here. During this time, Seth Rollins had just turned heel, something that really needed to happen. One of the highlights was Kevin Owens running up the Raw skate ramp incredibly, which is something we all remember now. If we compare then to now, a lot has changed. Seth Rollins has taken Rey Mysterio's eye out, more on that a little bit later. Samoa Joe is right at home as a commentator, although I can't wait to see him back in the ring again. The Big Show appears every now and then in typical Big Show style, and the AOP disappeared and were let go in September. You could probably say that every single match is a fist fight in wrestling because they do use their fists, but the strange thing is, there was actually fans here, so watching this back was kinda strange. Number 9, the Men's Royal Rumble. I tell you what, I still watch this Royal Rumble back and still get the same feeling as I did watching the Royal Rumbles in the 2000s. Drew McIntyre was put over hugely when he claymored Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble. I mean, look at the pop that he received. And then, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You think you know me. Unbelievable. In my opinion, Edge's return at the Royal Rumble 2020 was the greatest Royal Rumble return of all time. I jumped out my seat, screamed out loud, and I'm surprised the neighbours didn't knock on the door as it was way past 3 AM in the UK. Number 8, the Women's Elimination Chamber match. First things first, Shayna Baszler was a beast here, absolutely tearing through everyone and everything. It's a shame that we haven't seen that Shayna Baszler in a long time now. She really should be tearing through the competition along with Asuka. Shayna Baszler is a legit MMA athlete, but unfortunately we haven't seen much of that since this Elimination Chamber match. Number 7, the Firefly Funhouse match. This match happened during the empty Performance Center WrestleMania, an event which will go down in history. It's strange looking back and seeing how silent everything was. This match had everything. We went back in history. We had John Cena coming out as part of the NWO and so much more. If you look at anything Bray Wyatt has done, there's always links to his previous characters or storylines, whether he's The Fiend, the Wyatt family, Firefly Funhouse Bray, and on and on. Even the puppets in the Firefly Funhouse link back to his characters or his personality in the past. The Firefly Funhouse match also showed how versatile John Cena is. And in the era that we are in right now, cinematic matches matter even more. Number 6, Joey Janela vs Jimmy Lloyd, the GCW Acid Cup 2 Night 2 on March the 20th. A social distancing rules match. I can't actually believe this happened. Joey Janela worked with Jimmy Lloyd in an undisclosed location that pretty much sums up 2020 regarding social distancing. It was a gag and pretty much a bit of fun, but can you imagine if wrestlers had to social distance during matches like in a world title match? How would that look? Throughout 2020, everybody needed a little laugh or something a little bit light-hearted. Even in wrestling, we needed that. And we got a little bit of fun out of this match. Number 5, the Stadium Stampede match, AEW Double or Nothing. This was another cinematic match of 2020 mixed in with live footage. We had goalpost moonsaults, mascot punches, Matt Hardy reincarnating 100 times in the icebox, Hangman Page arriving on a horse, and the Inner Circle entering the stadium as pros. I don't know about you, but it felt like I was on a roller coaster watching this match. If everything was normal and there were fans in the arenas, then we probably wouldn't have seen matches like the Stadium Stampede and other cinematic matches. So 2020 delivered it in a way because it's something that we've never seen before, hence why I'm doing this list. Number 4, the greatest wrestling match ever, WWE Backlash. Firstly, Edge and Randy Orton knew it wasn't going to be the best wrestling match ever. Randy Orton even said it was like a rib in an interview. There's no denying that Randy Orton and Edge are two of the best workers in history. For me, it's not just about the moves and how you do them, it's about the emotional connection, psychology, and if I'm emotionally invested in those wrestlers. And for Randy Orton and Edge, I definitely am. I would have preferred if we didn't have the greatest wrestling match ever title, but we got to see Edge and Randy Orton in 2020, something we never thought we would ever see again. Number 3, Rey Mysterio vs Seth Rollins, WWE The Horror Show at Extreme Rules. When the match was announced, eye for an eye, I didn't think they'd actually take it out until they took it out. I mean, what was your reaction to Samoa Joe saying it's out whilst a ping pong ball hung from Mysterio's eye like a magic trick? The feud between Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins lasted all year and seemed to go on forever, but never did I ever think I'd see this on WWE television. But come to think of it, it was Monday Night Raw, wasn't it? Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio are two of the greatest workers today, and you can only go out and do what's given to you. And as this happened in 2020, we can accept it. Number 2, Bayley vs Sasha Banks, WWE Hell in a Cell. Sometimes I just need to sit down and think, what a story this was. We all knew a turn would happen eventually, but the way they executed everything was beautiful. Bayley and Sasha Banks have battled before. Look at their NXT TakeOver matches from 2014, and I can safely say that them two are part of the reason why I really got into NXT all those years ago. Throughout 2020 as tag team partners, they were the highlights in WWE. Bayley has shined as a heel, Sasha Banks is shining as the SmackDown Women's Champion, so all in all, it gets a double thumbs up from me. Number 1, Jon Moxley vs Kenny Omega. AEW Dynamite Winter is coming. This match had been built up for a long time, probably ever since AEW Double or Nothing 2019. Since the tournament was announced, it was always going to be Mox and Omega. Kenny Omega cemented his heel turn when Don Callis and himself screwed Jon Moxley to win the AEW World Championship. And after the match, an even more shocking development, they would appear on Impact on Tuesday. We know further down the road that it's going to be Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. No one has kicked out of the one-winged angel yet, but I've got a feeling that Hangman Adam Page might do it in the future. What do you think? All in all, in my personal opinion, this is the best Kenny Omega has looked since signing for AEW. So there you go, they were the 10 wrestling matches you won't believe happened in 2020. What was your favourite match of 2020? Was there one match that stood out for you? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe and share this video, and if you're over on Twitter, make sure you give What Culture a follow on there as well at WhatCultureWWE.